brain death is a lie. It's a lie that's been told over and over again, so people don't even realize it's a lie anymore. It's been a lie from the beginning, continues to be a lie.
According to Dr. Paul A. Byrne, a board-certified neonatologist and pediatrician, states that brain death is a lie, and donating your organs are an open invitation for hospitals to classify you as brain dead should you have a serious injury.
But then I had a baby, Joseph, in 1975, who had flat brain, was said to be brain dead. And it was suggested to stop treating him. I said, well, I don't do that. I treat babies, some live, some die, and kept treating him. And he did eventually get off the ventilator, and he went to school and he got straight A's. He played baseball, and he's married, he has 3 children. So because of him, after about 6 months, when he continued to live and was doing much better than anybody would have predicted, I started to investigate brain death. And it took about 2 years till I understood the language of brain death. Brain death is a lie. It's a lie that's been told over and over again, so people don't even realize it's a lie anymore. So it's been a lie from the beginning, continues to be a lie. So I published in the medical literature. I have an article in Journal of the American Medical Association. I have an article in the Gonzaga Law Review. It's 85 pages. It has 244 footnotes to it. And because of that, eventually I have continued to talk about brain death. Brain death is a lie. I have talked all over the United States. I've talked in many countries. The truth is easy, and then once you deviate from the truth, then you have first it says false, but then when people become conscious of it's false, then it's a lie. Brain death is a lie. The way it occurred was that Christian Bernard did the first heart transplant in South Africa in 1967. 3 days later, they did the second heart transplant, and you don't know where that is, but I'll tell you. It was done in Brooklyn, New York. And what they did is they cut the beating heart out of a 3-day-old baby and transplanted it into an 18-day-old baby. And at the end of their surgeries, a short time after the end of their surgeries, both of those babies were dead. It was illegal, it was immoral. And so they had to do something to make it legal. And so what they did is they set up a committee at Harvard, and the committee invented brain death. And a designated requester is usually a very nice person who dresses nice and befriends the relatives. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Oh, I know this has to be terrible on you. We'll do everything we can to help you. And all of that is part of getting them indoctrinated
procurement
to get their organs. And
I need to go take a shower.
see, and you cannot get any organs from a cadaver. Every organ that's transplanted is a healthy organ, and you can only get healthy organs from living persons. You cannot get any organs for transplant from a cadaver.
That's why you don't put it on your license.
And the things I'm telling you is that you are not allowed to hear. And because if you hear it, you will be upset, as all 3 of you are upset. And rightly so, you should be upset, because whose organs do they want? They want the organs from certainly from all children, but especially the people who are 16 to 30. And their life is in jeopardy. If they're unconscious and on a ventilator, they're going to get their organs, and they do everything to get their organs. And once the organs are taken, you can't bring them back to life. And so what they do is they tell the relatives, well, you're daughter Sally would really like to do something good, and this is a way to make something good out of this tragedy, or your son, and while they have been getting organs from accidents and gunshot wounds, they now get more organs from overdose of drugs than they do from accidents and gunshot wounds combined. There are 8 deaths a day from overdose in Ohio, and they get their organs is what they want. And so what are they doing? They're giving the policemen the Narcan to counteract the drug, which gets them into the emergency room, but it doesn't save their life. But gets them in the emergency room, and they still get their organs. In brain death, they do only 3 things for brain death. One is the patient does not show consciousness. The patient does not have brainstem reflexes that involve the eye or the ear. So there's about 14 brainstem reflexes, but they test only 6. They don't test the others. And then the test that they do that is called the apnea test. It's really not a test, it's a procedure. And what they do is take the ventilator away for 10 minutes. And the patient has to demonstrate that they can take a breath in that 10 minutes, or that becomes the signal to cut out their organs. During the time they're off the ventilator, the carbon dioxide builds up, the acids build up. That makes the brain swell worse and makes them get worse. So everybody must learn to not do an apnea test. You all must learn it now. And you have to know it. I hope you never have to use it on your relatives, but you need to learn it. Do not do an apnea test. No one should ever have the procedure of an apnea test. And then you have to know that the overdose of drugs, they need time to heal. Right now, and I got a text as I was coming in from the father of a girl in Canada, Takesha McKitty. You can Google her if you want, Takesha McKitty. I was talking in New York, and I was going to New Jersey the next day, and they called me and asked me if I would help with Takesha. So I went to Canada to help her. She overdosed on September the 14th. On September the 20th, they issued a death certificate on her. She's still very much alive. She moves her feet, she moves her legs. So she was not dissected. Everybody who has their organs taken, they're all dissected alive. There's no organs you can get from a cadaver. In the state of Ohio, every representative and every senator voted for the bill to make it so that everyone is an organ donor. And it's presumed that everyone is an organ donor, and it's presumed that everyone has consented to everything to be done to them to see if their organs are good for someone else and to keep their organs in good shape that they can find someone to give them to. The law, it's called the Uniform Anatomical Gift Act. It's already been passed in 47 states, including Ohio, and every representative in Ohio voted for it. Only one senator voted against it, and that was the black senator, because I think she might have heard what I said, that it's a form of slavery. They've made slaves of all of us. It's involuntary servitude, what they've done. And I think it's against the Constitution of our federal government and the Constitution of our state government. The oldest organ donor that I've read about was 91. They will take organs from anybody. It's just that they have Class A organs. Those are 16 to 30. And then as you get further away from that, with different age and different diseases, like they have taken organs from people with AIDS. Granted, they give them to other people with AIDS, but they're Class B organs. They have Class A organs, Class B organs.
Now, let's take a look at just a few of the individuals that were declared brain dead by their doctors and survived. Iowa teen Taylor Hale spontaneously revives after doctors declared her brain dead. Doctors claimed that an Iowa teen's brain had turned to mush, and that they were 95 to 99% certain that she would never wake up again. They advised the family to make funeral arrangements. Hong Kong lawyer Susan Chin declared brain dead, recover spontaneously 3 days later. While doctors hovered over her bed discussing organ donation, Christina Nicole could hear every word they said, and their conversation terrified her. Christina was transferred to rehabilitation, and within 6 weeks she was well enough to go home. Zach Dunlop was pronounced dead on November 19, 2008, at United Regional Healthcare System in Wichita Falls, Texas, after he was injured in an all-terrain vehicle accident. His family approved having his organs harvested, and while family members were paying their last respects, he moved his foot and hand. After 48 days in the hospital, he was allowed to return home, where he continued to work on his recovery. Sam Smid, an Arizona college student believed to be brain dead and poised to be an organ donor, miraculously recovered just hours before doctors were considering taking him off life support. If you made it this far, you're not here for headlines. You're here for what they're not telling you. Subscribe now, because next time we go deeper, and truth has fangs.